Okay, so I think that I should take a moment to really think about where I'm going next. And I want to do that on video because I think the thought process and the planning process is the actual creative part of software development. Um, a lot of people criticize TDD as being like paint by numbers, the idea that you break things into such small, trivial problems that it's hard to see where the creativity is and the actual engineering. For me, I see that in the planning of the next test, the next little tiny slice to build. And I want to take a moment to think about where that is and figure out what kind of small 5-minute slice I can make to do next. I also do want to do just like a tiny little bit of cleanup here. As you can see in my files, I have hello world spec.rb. Now, if I actually look at hello world spec, it has nothing to do with hello world anymore. So the first thing I'm going to do first, see if, oh, okay, I need to check in what I did before. I think I clipped to the end. Git add all, git commit -m, rename hello world to schedule. Okay, git status. Okay, I want to move spec hello world spec to spec schedule with no events spec rb. I run my tests. Rspec. Cool. I get status, git add, git commit -m, rename file. Okay. Now, another thing is I didn't actually like the names that I picked. Schedule. I haven't really used that word in my planning so far, so for now I'm just going to call it calendar. And call doesn't really make sense anymore. You don't call a calendar. So I'm just going to say call is summarize or summary, keep it a noun. Okay, so if I ask a new calendar for its summary, it tells me I have no events planned. I like that. Let's run those tests. Cool. All those refactorings were simple, and so I could get them done really quickly. So commit at all with rename class and method. Yep. With a message. Okay. And let's move the file in to spec calendar with no events spec rb. Alright. Up. Okay, rspec. Good. Add -a, git commit -m, rename file. Okay, so what's the next step? The next step is that I want to create an event. I'm going to keep it simple. It's going to be an empty event, and I'm going to just assert that I have one event. The step before that, though, is that I assert that I have 0 events. I sort of already have that, but I know that I'm going to have to build some kind of event counter. So I think I need to first build a test that asserts that the number of events I have is 0. And I think that should be relatively straightforward. So it would be like a number of events function on the class, and by default 0. I need to think a bit more about standard input and how I'm going to test that. Some people have shown me some really elegant ways of testing this kind of standard input-output thing. But I'm going to also need to start thinking about my user interface. How are people going to add events? How are people going to, look at their schedule? These are all things that I'm going to have to figure out. And I think what I'm going to do is just to experiment and just, if it doesn't work, change it. Yeah, it makes sense? Okay. Goodbye.